And so close to Valentine's Day, and not to be sexist, most women are way more organised than most men. And so with 4 days to go, that's when we would deploy marketing specifically pitched at guys who've left it to the last minute.
Hey, difference maker! Welcome to this podcast episode. I love Jeanine and Steve's face light up as I introduce anything these days. So
you make us smile, Jonathan.
There you go. So we're talking about Valentine's Day marketing and selling today. Interesting.
Well, given that Valentine's Day is only a few weeks away, or a couple of weeks. Oh, well, by the time the podcast comes out,
it's 4 days away, Steve.
4 days away. Oh, my goodness. Well, I'm not organised. Totally not organised. This is the time. Well, realistically, we need to be prepared for Valentine's Day well before Valentine's Day. But the minute January 1 hits, we should be mentioning it in almost every sale, because sometimes people need that extra reason to give themselves permission to have that extra thing. And so we found that those people that were sometimes on the cusp of buying that extra thing or deciding whether they wanted to buy that extra thing, when we mentioned, well, don't forget Valentine's Day is coming up. Wouldn't this be a great present to give each other for Valentine's Day? They're like, oh yeah, and a lot of people will then sign it up. So it's not just marketing. I think it's also to be used during the sales to remind people that that's coming up, and it could be the perfect gift. And then they wouldn't be in the same position as I am with nothing ready. Right?
Well, the good news is that you have plenty of time still, because even though this podcast episode is the 10th of February, we're recording it a little bit earlier, so you got some time.
Yeah. Rob won't come after you.
Especially if I forget.
Why do you think a dozen roses is so expensive the day before Valentine's Day?
For all us last-minute people.
Oh, yeah.
So, Jeanine, in your studio, what's happening for Valentine's Day?
So usually we have a big party. We usually do a Valentine's appreciation party. But this year, the way Imaging USA fell, it kind of encroached upon our time frame. So this year we're not doing a Valentine's Day party. It just didn't fall in the way the calendar could align well for us. But typically we throw a big party, and we have a We Love Our Customers party. And we open up the doors, and we do, we basically love on our clients, and that's the idea. And so we have lots of food because, I love food, and I'm a children's dentist favorite person because I sugar up all the kids with the cupcakes and the cookies and the candy. My best alliance is a children's dentist, Steve. And so, right? I sugar them up, then they need the dentist more. It's a great relationship. But anyways, so, and we usually do not like, we call it a fun photo booth, but honestly, it's a true portrait, right? But we do like a Valentine set and then photograph the families on it. And then we give it to them as a gift from us. We print it on site. We take one photo, we print it on site, and we send them home in a nice little folder with their photos saying, "We love you from Cloud9 Studios." And it's just a big client appreciation event. Now, of course, normally when we do this, we have out and about the different things we have coming up in the spring. So it's not like a Christmas in July where the purpose of the event is to sell. Like, that's the sole purpose of Christmas in July, is to book sessions. The purpose of our Valentine's open house is to love on our clients with a little hint of selling and booking the things that are coming up. So that's what we usually do for Valentine's Day. But then in the studio, like, obviously for kids that are born, the movie wouldn't be a big deal for you guys, but like born on the 4th of July, kids that are born in the month of February, a lot of times the parents like to do the first birthday sessions with Valentine's as a theme. And so we have many things to do that. So our social media in February becomes very red. So like our posts, and I've already actually started scheduling them out, because again, I'm going to be at Imaging when February hits. So the first week, and then most of the month, it's a lot of Valentine's related posts on social media. Hey, if your baby's birthday is this month, we can do a Valentine's theme and stuff like that. So that's a lot of what's going on. But for us too, February is a big ramp up for our baby ducks in March. So it's a little bit of mixture of both.
Jeanine, do you have any alliances or any other businesses that come to your client appreciation nights? Do you?
We do. So like when we do it, so like last year when we had it, one of our alliances manned the cookie decorating station, right? And so it was their business that had the table, and they brought all the sugar cookies and all the decorations, and so that's where that happened. We have one of our other alliances does the face painting, and so she brings it's a children's dance company. And so her girls come and they're in their little dance costumes, and they do the teenagers do the face painting. And so they do the face painting. So we have had different alliances over the past, do different things and man different types of stations. We do little gift bags, and we do the gift bags for Christmas in July too. And so all of our alliances put things in the gift bags to send home to the families as well. So it's a great way to promote our alliances and a great way to take on, they invite their clients to it too, right? So
I was going to ask that. That's great.
Yeah, so they'll be like, hey, we're going to be at Cloud9 Studios today manning a cookie decorating station. Come out and see us, and your kids can decorate a cookie and have all this Valentine's Day fun. So it's usually a lot of fun. I think I'm going to put, since we can't do it, I've done it for St. Patrick's Day before. I can't do it for St. Patrick's Day again this year because, again, it conflicts with something else we're doing. So I love doing this type of party, and I will do it sometime this year. I just need to figure out when and how to work it in. But it's because, Steve, like you said, it's a great way to involve your alliances.
Yeah. And it exposes your business to those extra clients that they have. And it's important to love on your clients, because we can't, just say that we love our clients until we take their credit card.
Right. Which is why Valentine's Day is such a great day to do it, right? It's such a great time because it fits with the theme of we love our clients.
Right. So it's not like a singles theme. It's just families coming in. And
yeah. No, for us, it's because it's the children. It's the people coming in with their kids, and we encourage them to bring their kids. So we usually have a balloon person who makes the balloon animals, the face painting, the cookie decorating. We have little games, little crafts, and then the photo booth.
Right, fantastic. And so then, are you collecting names or anything when you're there somehow, or
we always have like a sign in, so they'll sign in, and it's like a guest book type register here, and then that way we can send them a thank you for attending the open house, and they get tagged in our database then of having been to the Valentine's Day event.
Well, you have to send them their photo too, don't you? So you're going to have to, get some details to do that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Well, they walk home with the photo that day, but we email them their social media version of it to share on Valentine's Day. And then it says, Happy Valentine's Day. It has their photo, and then it has our logo, and it says Cloud9 Studios on it too. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. Awesome.
It's a lot of fun.
So we normally would also plan for Valentine's Day, back in usually July or August the previous year. And work with our alliances. So,
now, why is that, Steve? Why do you plan so far ahead?
Well, Jeanine, people get busy on the lead up to Christmas, and there's a big focus on Christmas. So, if you want to work with certain businesses, you got to get in early, and you got to get in before everybody else does. And so, often we've, particularly those that have got high-end, we work with high-end boutiques and hairdressers, and party planners, and so they do. We've gotten together and formed like the ultimate gift package, where they would then, through their retail outlets and through their contacts, sell like a booklet of things, and we would also sell it to our clients. They would sell it to all their clients, and that would go into the shared costs of producing the booklets, and we just share the profits of that. But it meant that we got a lot of clients exposure. So similar to what you're doing, having the appreciation day and your alliances are bringing in their clients, similar thing.
I like the book idea. That's a really good idea.
Yeah. So they're selling it usually, they'll start selling it mid-January all the way through to mid. So there's about a month to 6 weeks, straight after Christmas. As soon as January 1 hits, then they start selling it from there. So it's
Jonathan,
great.
you hate Valentine's Day. Why do you hate Valentine's Day so much?
Oh, I could give so many answers there. I don't hate Valentine's Day.
I was baiting you.
I know, and I did my best not to bite.
He thought that your client appreciation day would have been a singles party, and he was
so disappointed to find out it wasn't a singles party.
Look at Steve always reframing things to the positive. No, I mean I love your idea of the client appreciation party for Valentine's Day. It's great, and I like what Steve was talking about allowing someone to have that extra reason or that reason to buy that extra thing. I think that's really powerful too, or thing if you pronounce it correctly.
Thing.
But that's something that can happen all year round. So because we collect birthdays and the clients are filling out their client forms when they come in, we're aware of their birthdays. And a lot of the times they're coming in and their birthday is only a month away or even 2 months away. And sometimes you say, you know what, it's your birthday coming up in 6 weeks. Why don't you get this extra ting for your birthday? And it can be like a combined birthday present. And so many people will say, oh, that's a great idea. Yes, we should get that. Let's, instead of spending it on, the usual rubbish that means nothing, let's get this. And so although it's a great thing for Valentine's Day, being aware of and collecting the data for people's birthdays and anniversaries, and obviously being aware of all these special events. I know we're talking about Valentine's Day, but the same happens for Mother's Day. The same happens for Father's Day. The same happens for all the special events that come up during the year. So it's a great way to sell that extra thing, Jono.
So I think what Jeanine was getting at with those special events like birthdays, like Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, Valentine's Day, all these like events, I think they're great add-ons because for me, I find that people, for some reason, people feel like they need to have a reason to market. And you don't. And here's why I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with event-based marketing. Because what I see people do so often is they stop doing the marketing they should be doing all the time. Because my belief is that you need to always be marketing. And then they focus on putting together like an ad campaign or a collaboration with an alliance for a specific event. And that becomes their only focus. And there's so much time and pressure to be organized for that. Like you said, you started planning in July the previous year for Valentine's Day. And because of that, because they're shifting their focus to this event-driven stuff, they forget about their evergreen marketing and they don't do it. And then they don't have leads coming in the door and they don't have clients coming in the door. And then they're running out of money because they're too much focused on this. And I have seen this happen, right? So for the first time ever, this is why I always think that when you start marketing, like let's take the example of Facebook ads, because I'm the Facebook ads man, right? When you start running Facebook ads, my belief is you need to focus on getting an evergreen campaign right first so that you always have potential clients coming in the door and creating quality clients. And then when you have that working and you never master it, but when you get really, really good at it, that it's producing results for you, then add in your event-driven stuff like a promotion for Valentine's Day or Mother's Day or Father's Day. Because I've seen this happen. This is like a real-life story where the first campaign they tried to run on Facebook, a client, was a Valentine's team promotion in 2024. And because they'd never done it before and didn't know how to run ads properly, it flopped. Because they were under so much pressure trying to get this campaign right for Valentine's Day, and they had no experience of it, that they were wasting time and money and didn't have leads and clients coming in the door. So that is why I have a love-hate relationship with event-driven stuff, because my belief is that it's the next level after you have gotten something evergreen working. And that's why I have a love-hate relationship, because people feel like, one, they need a reason to market when you should always be marketing. And two, that when they focus on these event-driven stuff, they forget about everything else and their business falls apart.
But Jono, we know that you always add to your current marketing and you don't turn what's working off.
We know that, but from experience, the people listening don't know that. So that's why I'm making sure
let's give our listeners then their top tip for the day on listening to this podcast.
Exactly.
So top tip, ding, 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 ding. Listen now. Here's our top tip on marketing for your business. Jonathan, summarize it up again.
So get your evergreen marketing. What does evergreen mean, Jeanine?
Evergreen means it's an offer that you can run all day, every day, all year round.
And you can do that for any genre of photography, right?
Yep.
So get your evergreen marketing going, whether that's like ads is only one way of doing that, but your alliances, your ads, whatever it might be, get that going, get that up and running, get clients in the door consistently. And then as you continue to do that and become really good at it, then add your event-driven marketing on top. Now, one thing that I love is that with the sales, right? When you have an evergreen campaign going, as Steve suggested, you can still use event-driven triggers like Valentine's Day with your evergreen campaigns, because the evergreen campaigns attracted that potential client. As you're talking to them, if it's close to Valentine's Day, that could still be the trigger to get them in and to buy that extra thing.
Yes, and I will say this too, Jono. So like in February, the first birthday ad that I haven't really turned off ever since like January of last year. We go up and down on the budget depend on the time of year. That one will stay running. I don't turn that off because I add in a second ad that has a Valentine looking baby. So that way it had not a baby, but like the colors are red. And so that way, for someone who needs to see something different, or it triggers in their mind, oh, my baby is in February, look at the colors, and it like visually triggers them to click on the ad, but the other one's still going, right? So I don't shut off what's working to add in and test something new. That one is just running in addition to the one that's always there going.
I know you've touched on this, Jono, and I know you did this to appease me. But Jeanine, I see the same happen when people do have some successful alliances and do have other forms of marketing. Then they suddenly realize that, I should be doing Facebook marketing too because everyone else does. And then they start their campaigns on Facebook, whether it be evergreen or an event-driven one, and then forget to keep nurturing those alliances that have been bringing them quality leads, quality clients, and we all know that we make quality clients, but it's been a great resource for them. And so, although I think when we are bringing something new on, we still have to budget the time and make the time to nurture what's working. I think that even if it is Facebook, making sure that your current ads are still working as you add things on top. But the same with all of those relationships that you've built. Those quality relationships take time to build. And if you ignore them, it takes a long time to replace them. And what we're trying to do is build on top of what you already have and add to your business. It's too dangerous to replace. Shut something down and then go with something different.
So Steve, given that we're so close to Valentine's Day at the release of this podcast episode, having and given that it takes time to plan the marketing, that doesn't mean that for people listening today that, for Valentine's Day, that they can't use this as a trigger for allowing their clients to buy that one extra thing. So how how might they go about that? Like, what does that look like?
Well, sometimes when you get somebody on the phone, and you've got them excited, they want to book, and they say, "Oh, do you know what? I might leave it until, for 3 or 4 weeks." All you need to say is, "Do you know what? Like, I would have thought this would have been perfect for you for Valentine's Day. Why don't you come in like next week? And if you can come in next week, then we can have something ready for you to give for Valentine's Day, or to give to yourself for Valentine's Day. Why don't you spoil yourself this Valentine's Day?" So sometimes it's just a suggestion of, a magical deadline for them to come in sooner rather than later. And sometimes that's because we haven't excited them enough, but often they need that extra reason. And so sometimes if all you give them is one extra reason, if it is close to Valentine's Day, it might mean that you can fill your calendar sooner rather than later. So there's the booking part of it. But then again, there's those people that are just, "Oh, I'm not sure," on the booking stage, giving them another reason to come in sometimes increases conversion. And then from a sales point of view, when they're deciding what they would like to have, sometimes they're feeling guilty about, spending money on themselves, particularly our beautiful doves. That personality type, feels guilty about spending money on themselves. So sometimes if you give them that extra reason, that extra purpose, it's that extra thing that they may be willing to spoil themselves with, or, they're buying for somebody else. So it gives them that extra reason. So I think this is where, when you master getting out of your client's way and offering that extra thing with the assumption that they're going to want it, our businesses multiply, because it's that extra thing where all your fixed costs are already covered because you've already sold your basic normal average. It's those extra things that then add to the profit.
And that's why I think like having even 3XM treasure boxes in stock would be incredible for that, because you can turn it around quickly.
Oh, that was our main sort of focus when we got close to a deadline, like Christmas, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, all of those sort of things. We would still sell wall art, but when we knew we couldn't get it back, adding the portrait box on top and letting them know, look, Mum will still get, don't forget all of your favorite photos, even the ones in the wall art will be in the box. And this is what you can give her. And she's got an extra surprise coming and to look forward to the week after Mother's Day or Valentine's Day. And so she gets a double present. Mum's truly being spoiled, right? Or your girlfriend or whoever it is that you're buying for.
Makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah. So we don't focus on the fact they've got to wait. It's that extra surprise they're going to get. It's like drip feeding the presents. They're getting one for Valentine's Day, and all they've got to do is look forward to for the next week is when their next one arrives. How exciting is that? But we tend to only do that for these event type things where we would drip feed as things are ready. Because then, because otherwise they're like, well, no, it's not going to be ready for Valentine's anyway. So then they either shut down the sale or assume they can't book, that they haven't booked in time, so it's not an option for them. And so
something else they could. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Steve.
Sorry, so just pre-buying.
You pause.
Sorry,
How dare you?
So I just want to add, pre-buying the boxes was heaven for us, because it meant getting the prints done was really easy, really quick. But sometimes, knowing that the boxes were on the shelf that we could fill, that just gave us extra security to be able to sell those boxes. Sorry, Jeanine, I just wanted to add that bit in too.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Cool. Off you go. Let me breathe again.
No, I mean, totally along those lines. And the great thing, Jono, is even if someone hasn't had the chance, they're listening to this on February 10th, they're like, oh man, I haven't had a chance to put together a promotion that I could put online to trigger people for Valentine's Day. The handy dandy thing about having ChatGPT and our AI tools available to us is it might be February 10th. February 14th is still 4 days away. You can write an email to your clients, and you can put together a way to love on your clients in an email and create a quick email campaign to send home to all of your clients with that same kind of trigger idea, and or just a love message to them, love on them with an appreciation. So there's a couple of ideas that you still can do. And then the great thing about this is because it's a holiday and these ideas are being given to you for Valentine's Day, guess what? If you're too late to really get much done besides an email or to add things into your conversation for Valentine's Day, the same concepts apply for the next holiday that are coming up, right? So you have your evergreen offer that you have focused on, and you have your alliances, and you have all this humming. Then, what could you do for Mother's Day? And get that plan. What could you do for Father's Day to add on, not to replace? And you could take some of these ideas and then add them into what you're doing for the rest of the year.
And so close to Valentine's Day, and not to be sexist, but women are way more organized than most women are way more organized than most men. And so with 4 days to go, that's when we would deploy marketing specifically pitched at guys who've left it to the last minute. My sister-in-law ran a florist, and it's amazing how people are on their way to lunch with their girlfriend or wife and haven't thought of something, and it's a last minute pickup, and they're expecting you to have something amazing to give to their wives. So pitching something in the last couple of weeks, worded more towards the guys. We even used to have some students that were happy to almost door knock at in industrial estates where lots of tradesmen were working, and they were just selling the gift certificates 2 days before Valentine's Day. And it's amazing how many you'll sell if people don't have to go out of their way and do nothing.
Yeah, Steve, my niece was a waitress at a golf club. Right. And on Valentine's Day, like if a Valentine's Day fell on a weekend, she would be like, Aunt Jeanine, you have no idea how many men are golfing the morning of Valentine's Day. And their golf community had set up these tables where a florist came and sold flowers and chocolates and stuff like that right next to the bar for the men, because they're like, they're golfing on Valentine's Day. And then they're like, we need it's seeing the flowers and the chocolate, like, oh shoot, we better not go home without something for our wives.
Yeah. You need to get some gift certificates in there, Jeanine.
I know, right? This wasn't here locally, but yes, no, that concept, it's perfect, right? Because it's that's the idea, right? Like it is. Men are very loud. Golfing on Valentine's Day.
We tend to be less organized when it comes to stuff like that.
Yes.
In general.
It's a day off. Why wouldn't I be golfing?
The sun's out.
The sun's out.
Days off for Valentine's Day?
Who knew it was Valentine's Day?
You had a day off for Valentine's Day?
No. It was a weekend.
Okay. I thought you had another vacation.
No.
I didn't think you needed a day off to play golf. Isn't that part of work? Isn't it networking?
Oh, right. It's networking. Yes, that's why you go to the golf
Thanks
course.
Thanks for that excuse, Steve. See you soon.
I thought golf was a work day. That's what you tell us, John, when you disappear on a Thursday.
So, Jonathan, give us a good summary here so we can wrap this up. Like, what can our listeners do today that will help them now and going forward?
Do you want like craft paper or like a glossy paper or like
Matt.
Oh, Matt. Okay. So I think what you guys have said is that event-driven,
holiday-driven, event-driven, yeah,
or holiday or event-driven triggers like Valentine's Day, like Christmas, like Mother's Day, Father's Day, Easter. There's probably so many more. Maybe in America, 4th of July. Could be
St. Paddy's Day,
Halloween, St. Patrick's Day. Could be the perfect opportunity to give people a reason to buy that extra thing, right? Give them permission to buy that extra thing, especially when you stock 3XM treasure boxes and can turn them around before the event, so they have something before, they get their wall art. It's also a great opportunity to love on your clients, with your Valentine's Day, where your client appreciation event, you run it as that, Jeanine. And another takeaway is that, yes, you can market for these events, but never on their own. That you have to use them as an add-on to your evergreen marketing that you're doing all the time, because as we know, we should always be marketing.
I love that, Jonathan. We should always be marketing.
The only thing you missed was it also adds urgency.
Adds urgency, yes. Natural urgency and scarcity.
Yeah. To bookings, as well as, getting stuff organized.
And another takeaway is you can sell gift certificates to the last minute men, because I don't do Valentine's Day. I'm single. I want to remain single forever. But if I wasn't single, I would be one of those last minute men. So yes, gift certificates at the golf course, perfect.
You would wait for the day after Valentine's Day.
Probably, yes.
When everything goes on sale. Look, honey, I bought you 2 dozen roses instead of just one. I love it.
On that note,
good podcast. I'm excited.
This is fun. This is fun. See, I don't hate event-driven marketing as much as you think. It's just, I clarified my point today. It's good. So, on that note, thank you for joining us for this wonderful podcast. Jeanine, Steve, when our listeners are ready to really, elevate their photography business and start serving their clients, start to consistently book clients, start to increase their average sale, and start to create raving fans that refer their friends and family and come back over and over again. To do that, they really need to be in the inner circle, because the inner circle is going to show you exactly how you do that for your business. So all you have to do to join the inner circle is click the link below this video and apply to join the inner circle. And we will welcome you into a thriving community of photographers who want to see you succeed. And we will help you to build the photography business of your dreams. So go ahead, click the link below, apply for Inner Circle today. We cannot wait to see you inside with all the members and mentor team.
Thanks, everybody. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.